Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this recap video I'm going to answer a question that I get quite often, which is, Raghee, how do you track multiple stocks along with the index futures chart that you might be watching? And it's really pretty simple, and the same thing is going to apply to the ETFs of the heavily weighted sectors, and we'll cover that in this video too. But what I use is something I call a multi-chart. Some people call it a flexible grid, where you've got multiple charts on one screen. This is really simple. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see I've got the main chart. That might be the ETF for a sector that I might be watching. In this case, it's the Dow. So a couple of the trades that we have on, it's really easy for me to find because I'm going to grab my directional bias from the broader average or whatever that larger sector ETF may be. So I don't really want to bet against the Dow, and therefore I want to find potential buys. So for example, I'm completely uninterested in Boeing, right? I'm quite frankly uninterested in UNH. I'm lukewarm about Goldman. In fact, I might be more interested in looking at Goldman as a relationship back to the XLF. So I'll have a similar setup where instead of YM here, it'll be the XLF, and all the heavily weighted names of the XLF will be listed here, right? But so the first three are off the list. You know, 3M is not bad. 3M's maybe okay. McDonald's is okay. What I'm looking for are trends: Apple, Visa, IBM, even Johnson & Johnson, even after that whole debacle with the talcum powder, but even Johnson & Johnson. Let me show you some of the other things that are catching my eye right now. And we've already seen this work for us in Home Depot, which is a very small sideways movement that we had here that clued us in to a potential momentum play to the upside. So we either look for bottom of the range buys, or we wait for the market to break up through the range highs. Bottom of the range buys, or break up through the top of the market, the highs. But either way, we're looking for long positions in Home Depot. They've actually done really well the last 2 days. We did the same thing. I'm looking for something very similar right now in Caterpillar. We actually just put a trade in Caterpillar on yesterday at the bottom of the range. So the bottom of the range buy fired off, and if traders are waiting for the momentum or sort of the second stage of this, it might be waiting as we break out through the highs. So Caterpillar just triggered, and it's so much easier to scan this way because my list is very focused. What I mean by that is my list is focused because I'm looking at heavily weighted names within the broader averages or an individual ETF. Here's NASDAQ. I'm going to do the same exact process. Do I want to bet against the NASDAQ? Oh, absolutely not. In fact, we pull back here, and look at all the pullbacks that happened simultaneously when we got that. Right, it was like a cascade of entries. Same day. Every one of those is the same day. Do I want to play booking? Negative. Do I want to play NVIDIA? Yeah, not really crazy about it. Intel? You bet. Cisco? You bet. Google? You got it. We actually just played Facebook. We just had a trade in Facebook. That was something I talked about in a previous recap video. This yesterday, this recap video, and then you can see, you know, I don't want to bet against the NAS, and so when I hit an oversold buy in Facebook, I'm game, right? Oversold buy in Amazon, by the way, too. Again, playing the overall direction of the NAS. The NAS is the tide. These individual stocks are the boats, sometimes the ships if they're heavily weighted. Same thing. I think you guys are getting the picture. So I want to find the kinds of names that are working with the broader average. Berkshire, nope, right? Not even interested. Right? Bank of America, maybe if it hits an oversold. I mean, again, Bank of America, much like Goldman, might be a better play with the XLF version of this same layout. Right? So I hope that helps. This is how I keep a very focused watch list. This is how we build a lot of the long positions in those associated stock names along with our broader averages. And then there's an ETF sector watch list that looks like this. So when I'm prioritizing different sectors and their associated ETFs, this is what I'm going by. Do I want to know what's going on in tech? Absolutely. Industrials, you bet. Communications, discretionary, healthcare, financials, all of that. Those are the heavily weighted sectors within the broader averages to varying degrees and with different combinations, but I'll have the same type of multi-chart layout for the individual sectors as well. And it's a very it's a very hand-in-glove fit. It is a connective thread. What are the broader averages doing? What are the sectors doing? What are the heavily weighted names in the broader averages? What are the heavily weighted names in the sectors? This makes scanning and playing your stock with the overall direction of the broader market or the sector much better, much clearer, and it's a popular question I get. How do I build my watch list for equities and sectors? This is it. Okay? I'll see you in the next update.